Hello, jeweler, and welcome to the Royal Couple Content and Distribution. Now, this is a really, really important lesson that we need to learn, and it will kind of just go through the overview of how it is that we're going to think about what we're putting out into the world, and it'll help you to understand how we're going to take everything that we've learned so far about what's important to put into our content and about where it is that we're putting that, and as well as how to reach the right people and how to make sure that we're really honing in on what makes them want to buy what we have to offer. We're going to talk about in this, number one, what is the royal couple, and then we're going to get into content. Then we will go over distribution, what exactly that is, what we are going to do, and then we'll go through the workflow overview, which will help to bring together everything we've learned so you know where to go from here. So first of all, what is the royal couple? Here we have a king and a queen. Now, nothing is quite set, or there's not really a full couple unless, of course, they're married. Now, in this couple in particular, there are two parts. A couple is not just one part, and this is something that people often get wrong. They focus on just one of these parts, and I kind of see it happening 50-50, where they'll only focus on one of these parts and think, oh, if I want to be successful, I have to focus on this part of the couple, let's say the king, and that's what I need to do better. And that is why this brand or this company or this jeweler is so successful, is because they have this part figured out. Or other jewelers will actually say the other part of the couple is so important. And you'll hear, no, what's really important is that you understand this part of the couple. It's not the other one necessarily, but it is this one in particular. And when we get into which is which and what we're talking about, you may fall into one of those categories. You may have thought that the king is truly the only thing that matters, and then maybe you've only thought the queen is the only thing that matters, but truly it's not a couple unless you have both of them, and both are truly powerless without the other one making and supporting the full picture of what we're going for in marketing. And so we're going to start off with the first one, which is content. Content is married to the queen, and content is king. You'll hear me say that a lot. And then the queen is distribution. The royal couple is content and distribution. You might just focus on content and think that great content is what wins you customers and success over the years. You might think that distribution and perfect distribution techniques and great advertising and knowing fantastic methods is what gets you customers and success over the years. It truly is both of them put together. And when you allow these two to do their thing, you have fantastic content. Content is king, and you have fantastic distribution, and distribution is queen. Then they will serve you royally. So, content is king. And what do we mean by that? 99% of your business will be judged by the content that you show. Now, what exactly do we mean by content? Content is any visual, audible material that you make for your audience. When your audience is looking for you, and if they have any idea about who you are, it is purely, unless they've met you in person before seeing your business, it is purely from what you have for them to see, watch, listen to, at any given moment. Content is what they see on Instagram, on YouTube, on your website. It is your website. It's the flow of everything that you have. Most people, when they want to know what you're about, will look at your content, and they will make their decisions about you immediately based on your content. And I want that to sink in, because I think a lot of jewelers, and I've seen a lot of jewelers who do not focus on great content. They are filling their basically their front facing, what they show the world is content that somebody else has made, whether it's stock footage, stock photos from Stellar or a bigger company or someone else who just has made their own photos, and so they look like every other jeweler. It's low quality, it's pixelated, it is poorly produced. They don't understand their fonts, they don't understand colors or color schemes. Their website is really hard to navigate and doesn't give users a feeling of this is the place I want to be and this is where I want to spend time. It doesn't look professional. And it's crazy because most of these jewelers that I'm talking about are incredible jewelers. They're fantastic. But their content and what people think about them is not that great. Not even close to where their potential should be. So let's talk about content for a second. What does this content say about this brand? If you're watching this video, just think, what does this content say about this brand? Now, this is obviously one of the highest end jewelry brands in the entire world. You'd imagine that if they're one of the highest end jewelry brands in the entire world, they would have some really high end content. But we have that connection for a reason. We assume high end content means it's a high end brand. People are willing to pay incredible amounts of money for something from this company because they are quality. They mean quality in everything they do, from their website to their social media to their content. Everything that you see from them that's front facing is high quality. Now, how about this one? What does this content say about this brand? What does this content say about this brand? This jewelry brand in particular. What does this content say about this brand? What does this content say about this brand? What does the content say about this brand? Based just off of these Instagram pages, which of these three jewelers do you think will attract the most customers? Just purely based off of the content they have out there, which of these three jewelers is going to attract the most customers? Based off of their content. Number 3. Why will customers be more interested in number 3? What is the difference? And this isn't a question. This is absolutely clear. More people are going to be interested in number 3. And if you went to their Instagram page, you would see that this particular jeweler has tens of thousands of followers as well. People who want to see their content all the time. Versus the first one that has 0 posts and it only has 73 followers. The other one only has maybe 100 or 200 followers, and their content is scattered and just random. But number 3, what's different about it? What is it about this content that just makes it more pleasing, that makes it more desirable to see? Why are people clicking, yeah, I want to follow this? Is it because they are better jewelers? I doubt it. But they are going to get more customers because of their content. They produce high quality content. It's a huge difference here in what they show the world. And therefore, they are high quality. People who see this are going to assume that they are high quality. People who see number 1 or number 2 are going to assume that they are low quality. If you put out low quality content, people will assume that you are low quality, that your quality of your work is low. Now, this is a quote from one of my favorite books, actually. I would highly recommend reading Letters from a Self-Made Merchant to His Son. It's an entire chapter about appearances, why appearances are so important, why it is that we use appearances. And you've heard before, likely, do not judge a book by its cover. And I am all for that. I'm totally into wanting to get to know a person or a business or something before making a judgment. However, it is equally good to understand that while that's great for you, and you should do that, most people will not do that for you. It's just not going to happen. And so here is what this self-made merchant, and this was written in the late 1800s, wrote to his son about this subject. Just here I want to say that while it's all right for the other fellow to be influenced by appearances, it's all wrong for you to go on them. Because there ain't any rotten apples in the top layer, it ain't always safe to bet that the whole barrel is sound. Appearances are deceitful, I know, but so long as they are, there's nothing like having them deceive for us instead of against us. And I want that to sink in. Yes, appearances are deceitful. Yes, what looks great on the outside might be bad on the inside. Absolutely. If you're aware of other jewelers or jewelry brands who do not produce as high quality jewelry as you do, but they have fantastic content, they have amazing media, you probably have thought this before. They have incredible media. They look incredible. They look so good. Everyone is falling for them because their media is so good. I wish I had media like that so they could fall for me because I can produce better quality jewelry. But here's the thing. Appearances are deceiving your audience away from you and against you, and they're deceiving everyone else for lower quality jewelry brands. I want that to sink in. And so, as long as people are judging things by their appearance, and we all do that, there's nothing like having appearances deceive for us instead of against us. And so number three's appearances, right here in this little Instagram page, are creating certainty, while the other two are creating uncertainty. We already talked about the 6 roads to trust and to assent to yes, to get people to be more certain about us. We have already talked about the 3 certainties as well. Number 3 gets this. They are starting to truly understand what people are looking for that will make them more certain, more trusting, more comfortable with giving them thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. Numbers 1 and 2, they're not taking advantage of that. Is your content creating certainty or uncertainty in the eyes of your desired audience? So you have to think from the perspective of your audience. Not you, not other jewelers, but your audience. The uneducated person about jewelry who has the money that can afford what it is that you are offering. When they look at your content and they don't know you at all, is your content creating certainty or uncertainty in their eyes? We make great content by listening to our audience. And this is a huge thing. Just as we had talked about before, there's no sense in trying to offer someone something they don't need. There's also no sense in trying. The whole point of sales is to get someone from where they are to where they want to be, and for our perfect offer to be that. And we can't truly offer them anything good without knowing first what is it that you want. We cannot know what it is that our content wants us to look like without listening to them first. Powerful content knows exactly what your prospect wants, exactly what their pain is. It amplifies their pain, and offers the perfect solution in a way that they trust. Weak content is all about you. No one cares about you. People care about their own problems, needs, and desires. Marketing done right allows needs to be met. I don't mean that in a mean way or anything, but as far as the market is concerned, people are selfish. People want things for themselves. Now, bad businesses that do not succeed, think, what is it that makes me happy, and what is it that I want to produce? And then they go out there and they say, everyone, look at me, look how great I am. Powerful content says, I'm going to serve others. I'm going to find out what they need. I'm going to care about them. And if you can solve the need, you can care about enough people, people will gladly give you thousands, millions of dollars without any issues whatsoever because they care about themselves and you care about them. Weak content, weak websites, weak social media, weak podcasts, weak advertisements are about you. Powerful ones are about your audience. And this is incredibly important. This is so huge, it just really has to be understood. Thinking from your audience's perspective will help you break away from content that is weak and is generating nothing whatsoever to content that is powerful and is generating sales. So content is king. What do we mean by content? By content, just to make this as clear and concrete as possible, in terms of what we are going to talk about, we're talking about photos, videos, and copy. Copy is the stuff that we write in advertisements. It's words that we use in advertisements. It's words that we use on our websites. In particular, the most powerful kind of content is video. Video is significantly more powerful than photos or copy. It's an amalgamation of both photos and copy, but video is incredibly powerful for selling. If you can hone in on how to create jewelry videos that sell, videos for your jewelry business that sell, then you will be light years beyond every other jeweler, almost every other jeweler in the industry. Most jewelers don't think like this. Most jewelers don't have the capability to make content that is incredibly good and incredibly engaging. You will. By the end of this course, you will definitely be able to make content that is engaging, that truly relates to your audience, that gets people's attention, that hits their pain points, that they look at, that they trust, and that they can be certain about. And the crazy thing is, if your content is great, you could work out of a dingy, stinky basement, and you could have nothing beautiful about your workshop or anything. But if your content is good and people can trust your content and you make great pieces and you're a great jeweler, it doesn't matter what it looks like in person. As long as your content looks great online and the photos and the videos and the copy that you have are really, really good, people are going to trust you. People are going to want to do business with you. So if that was content is everything that people see, it's everything that people hear, it's everything that people read that you put out, that's your audience, then content is nothing without its wife, distribution. If content is what you show, distribution is where, how, and when you show it. Now, this is one of the biggest things that we see happening in the jewelry industry, in most industries, to be honest, but mostly the jewelry industry. After having seen this for years and years and years, this is a typical story of something that happens. Number one, a jewelry store hires a video crew to make a video of them. They feel like it's a great idea to get a good video done about them, and so they decide, we're going to bite the bullet, we're going to spend a couple $1,000s, hire a video crew, and we're going to get a video of our jewelry store. Number two, after a long, arduous process, the store is delivered the final video, and they're crazy about it. They absolutely love their video. They are just raving about it. Number 3, they post it to their Facebook page, and they even create a YouTube channel saying, we are so excited about our new video. And then number 4, 1 week later, the video has 11 views, 3 likes, and a comment from a former employee saying, wow, so amazing. Number 5, the owner decides that videos in social media don't work, and they go back to what they've been doing for the past 15 years and seeing no results. Have you seen this happen before? Has this happened to you? Were you one of these jewelers? Did this happen to you? And what happened was you put a lot of money and effort into it, you gave it one try, and now you've made the decision based off of that 1 or maybe 2 or maybe just 3 instances that altogether, social media doesn't work, videos don't work, advertising doesn't work, just going to go back to doing what I've done before. That is distribution failure. What went wrong? Well, let's go here. Is it that videos don't sell and every statistic that proves otherwise is an anomaly? So every other video that does sell really, really well, and all the statistics that back up the fact that videos do sell well, and all the videos that I've made that have sold really well, those are just lucky? Or is it that the store and its employees don't know how to properly distribute content? It's probably number 2. And I can almost guarantee that it's number 2. Based on a lot of stuff that I have seen from jewelers, it's probably just that jewelers are good at being jewelers. Salespeople are good at being salespeople. Bench jewelers are good at being bench jewelers. They're not good at knowing how to properly distribute marketing content. They haven't learned it. They haven't tried it. They haven't tested it out. But here's the thing. You can have the greatest content in the world, but if it's not getting in front of your ideal audience, it's a waste of time to make it. Powerful distribution is getting powerful content in front of the perfect audience. I just want to say that one more time. Content is incredibly important. We had gotten into content. Content is king, and when you create powerful content, it allows people to have trust in you, to be certain about you. But if your content is only in front of your family, it's only in front of your former employees or your employees, it lives on your phone, it's on a YouTube channel with 1, maybe 2 subscribers, it's on a Facebook page that no one follows and no one cares about, well, yeah, you could have a Hollywood production film on there and no one is going to view it, no one is going to like it, nothing is going to happen. Powerful distribution is getting that powerful content in front of the perfect audience. And I'm going to show you how to do that. I'm going to show you exactly what you need to do to make that happen, to get the hundreds of thousands of views that I've gotten, to get the hundreds of shares that I've gotten, everything. I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. So distribution is queen. And by distribution, we're talking about paid advertising. We're talking about organic advertising. So remember, we talked about paid and time methods. And we're talking about funnel creation, putting together the trust architecture, making sure that people are seeing our content all over the place and that our powerful content is loaded with these trust triggers so people have plenty of reason to trust us. There's tons of social proof. There's tons of authority built into it. There is tons of scarcity. There's a lot of everything that a person could be looking for is built into the content itself, into the videos, the photos, and the copy. And it's being put in front of the people that matter. We do that through paid advertising, organic advertising, and funnel creation. So we're going to touch back on the trust architecture. And the trust architecture, again, is a map that we use, and it's really just a metaphor for the way that people enter and see our content so that we can constantly be hitting them with the different trust triggers that we have. Now, the trust architecture is both content and distribution played out over our entire sales process. We have entrances, we have sales all the way at the end. Each one of those entrances, every single time that a person has an on-ramp to see our content, that's because we've distributed it in a place where they can see it. They wouldn't be able to get to a sale without us bringing them onto one of these roads and then leading them down a funnel which gets them to a sale. And they wouldn't want that sale in the first place if the content didn't originally grab their attention, it wasn't pertinent to them, it didn't truly kick them in the bruised knee and say, hey, you're in pain, but I can get you from where you are to where you want to be. We use content that is powerful and we distribute it well so that it's in front of the right people. And by doing that, we're able to get them on the road towards a sale. I hope that makes sense. You cannot get them into your funnel without distributing powerful content. I'm just going to say that one more time. No one is going to try and buy from you if they're not interested in buying from you because your content is boring or your content is not put in front of them because you haven't distributed it properly. We need to start there. We need to start their process by putting powerful content in front of them using powerful distribution methods. And again, I'm going to teach you how to do this. You're going to understand how to do this. Don't worry about how to do this. The tactics are coming, and all of that is going to make sense very soon. But this is just something that you need to understand in order for this to work. Because each funnel, each step of the funnel is a way for that person to go from seeing your content to the next step, to the next step, to the next step. And at almost every single step, we have content there, which then leads them to the next step, whether it be video, whether it be photo, whether it be copy. And so that's the royal couple. We learned that content is anything that your audience sees. We learned that distribution is when, how, and where we show that. And we're going to just touch on very briefly the workflow overview of both content and distribution, this royal couple. This is the workflow. Number one, like I said before, listen to the audience. You cannot have great content without knowing what it is that your audience thinks you should look like. So if your audience has a particular kind of appearance that they would think that you as a jeweler look like, then remember, we are using appearances, we are using content, we're using media to help people become more certain of us. Then we can create that powerful content. We understand what they're looking for, so we create stuff that has to do with what they're looking for. And then number three, we distribute it powerfully. We put it out in front of them. We get to understand exactly where they are, and then we put it in front of them so that that powerful content can be seen by the audience. And then it feeds right back around. Once we have it in front of them, we can get feedback from them on whether it works or it doesn't work. And if it works, then it's great. We're doing something right, and we want to amplify that, and we can scale it. If it's not working, then we're going to reiterate. We're going to make new content until we hit the pain point perfectly. And what normally happens is at first you have a pretty good idea. You have a good guess of what it is that works. You've talked to your audience. You have even exact words that they've said before, and you put that kind of content in front of them. Over time, your content is going to get better and better and better. So don't worry. It doesn't have to be perfect at first, but if you stick it out and you create content and you listen to your audience, eventually you're going to have content that perfectly speaks to them. You'll know exactly what to say to get them to want to buy from you, and you'll be able to put it in front of them without even thinking about it. Remember, powerful content knows exactly what your prospects want, exactly what their pain is, and it amplifies their pain and offers the perfect solution in a way that they trust. And powerful distribution is getting that powerful content in front of your perfect audience. That was content and distribution, our royal couple. And you can say bye to the royal couple. And I hope that you learned something here. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to reach out. Thanks.